What's good with it? Welcome inside the Nine, the newest project here on the ValleyBiz channel. I'm Gabe, the creator, owner, designer of ValleyBiz clothing. I started originally with the BMX-based podcast called Shooting the Shit, which shined light on the top BMX riders within the 209 area. But now I'm expanding the platform because if they're a guest here on this platform, they either reside in, they are from, or they have serious ties from within the inner circles of the 209. Yeah, let's get into it. Today, we got a special guest for you from outside the 9, but he made his way down to 99 to come pull up on us, bless us with a sit down. Today, we chopping it up with King Cydal. Yeah.
From the two-row nasty.
Hit it. Yeah, what's happening? Welcome back to Inside the 9, the newest project here on the ValleyBiz channel. Today, we got a special guest from outside of the 209 area, but he got ties within and inner circle ties. So we brought him up on here. He blessed us with a sit down. None other, King Cydal. What's happening?
What it do, family?
Appreciate you pulling up.
Man,
nice to meet you, likewise.
Man. Nice to meet you, man. You know what I mean? Glad to be here. And you know what I mean? Just like bikes, you know what I mean? You know, we both pedal.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? To keep that foot to the pedal, you know what I mean? And, you know, keep pushing, you know what I mean? So it's kind of the same within the same, you know what I mean?
That's right. That's right. So now let me get to the folks on my channel because they be riding bikes and shit, like you said.
Yeah.
Some might not know, but Marcus laid me out with some little accolades or whatever. I guess I got them written down. It says, because they might not know, but I know they know the legendary Be Legit. So you signed under him to his label, which is Mob Movement.
Block Movement.
Block Movement. My bad.
Yeah.
Block Movement.
But you not off, you know what I'm saying? Because he's the king of the mob.
That's
music,
right. I'm so used to. I just hear him saying it in my head every time.
Yeah, you know. So yeah, he's definitely the one that one of the ones that definitely helped coin the mob music sound.
Yeah,
and,
for sure.
And the whole genre of it. You know, and so we hear the mob.
That's right.
You know, so
that's right.
Yeah, so you definitely was on the money. You just had to flip the coin. You know what I'm saying? But it was still on the same token.
Hey, that just shows how embedded his mob mentality music just got into my brain from listening to that shit.
No, it's in the mob.
It's up in there.
You knew about the mob.
That's right.
Yes,
that's
sir.
right. And then he said, Marcus, let me know you had your own clothing line too.
Ruler Squad.
Okay.
Ruler Squad.
All right.
You know what I mean? I'm over here sipping, man. You know what I'm saying? Trying to get a water. Like Ricky Antonio say, can I get a water though? You know what I'm talking about? Shout out to my cousin Rick.
That's right.
But yeah, you know, so I got the Ruler Squad. The Ruler and the Ruler Squad, you know what I mean? It stands for Royal Unified Leadership, Everyone Rules.
Okay.
So, you know, just here to inspire self, confidence and, making people instill that in themselves so they can believe in themselves enough to do whatever they want to do.
Yeah.
Because the moment you get a little doubt, you know what I mean? One day turns to 2, turns into a month turns into a year. Then it's like, well, I'm going to probably get back into it. But having that belief, there's no days off.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, and the consistency, you grow from that.
You got,
So, and it's hard to grow when you don't put consistent effort.
It's true.
In anything.
That is
true.
That is true.
So being a ruler is something that I want, to define as self-confidence at the end of the day.
All right. Yeah. That's right. I'm gonna have to grab me some of that.
Come on, ruler
just
squad,
from that right
man,
there
alone.
Just from that alone.
When I do that, that's the crown, man. So salute,
That's right.
Absolutely.
That's right.
Yeah.
And then most know, I guess I won't even explain it, but he said you also been a host and a powerhouse within the session industry.
I have been. Yeah,
all right.
Yeah. Just being able to not only be a host, but also a client. You know what I mean?
Okay. Okay.
But it was fun, being able to get in the world of cannabis and be accepted immediately almost, you know what I mean?
Okay,
and it wasn't something I asked for. It just happened to go to an event. That event turned into a meeting eventually, and that turned into me hosting.
That's right.
And it happened fairly quick. So, met a lot of great people in the industry, a lot of great successful brands that's doing their thing all across the nation. Those are some fun times, man. You know what I mean? So shout out to everybody in the cannabis world that I got to either smoke with,
that's right,
hang with,
that's right,
manifest with, or if I ain't seen you in a minute, we at least got to smoke with. You know what I mean? So, Yeah, so shout out to all
Yeah.
the cannabis, community. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It was fun times. We still building. Still building clouds. Let's get it.
Hell yeah. Good times in the early days too, the early session days.
Yeah, man.
It's been a minute for me, but
Man, I didn't realize, what I mean, how deep it really is. You know what I mean? I thought, cannabis world is the friendliest world. Oh man, it's like the rap game almost, man. But at the end of the day, I love everybody, just like I do in the rap game. And so I try to maintain that level of peace and just balance. So I never get caught up in any politics or anything. You know what I mean? No. You know what I mean? I'm a president of self.
Yeah, exactly.
That's like I got a song called "By Myself."
Yeah, exactly.
So
I've been hearing it for like 2 weeks, and I've been putting it every day, like 2-3 times a day.
Hey man, come on, man. You know what I mean? You're never in trouble when you're moving by yourself at the end of the day. So but yeah, a lot of great people in the cannabis world as well as the music world. And just being someone that's just, neutral.
Yeah.
It's easier to navigate, amongst different people.
Yeah.
And being able to get along, So,
feel that.
If I didn't do anything in this lifetime, I wanted to be the one that instilled peace and try to be the bridge for people, you know what I mean? That may
bring
not,
together.
Yeah, that may not, I don't know if they would connect if I didn't connect them or,
Special guest.
What's up with the big dog? You know what I'm saying? We got killers up in here. We got killers. It's one of these type of shows.
You don't know what you're gonna see.
Yeah. So you know what I mean? Yeah. So yeah. But hey, but back to what I was saying, though. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? You gotta be ready at all times. You know what I mean?
On your toes
stay ready. So you don't have to get ready, man.
That's just like 209. They be jumping out from all corners on it.
Man, my mouth is so full of cotton right now.
Shit.
Smoking on these gummy flavors, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, you see that right there? That's the gummy flavored logo right there. And then the Ruler Squad I was just talking about, that's Ruler Squad. You know what I'm talking about? So we ruling and not drooling, you know what I mean? Unless I'm taking a kush nap.
You feel me?
Yes. So just like I say, great times hosting the sessions and getting back into the music world was also a great, journey. Because consistency was something I had to learn.
Yeah.
The hard way.
Yeah, and I feel like
you know what I mean. That I want to say, you know what I mean. That's going to be the key word of this discussion is consistency.
Okay.
It don't matter how good you are. It don't matter. I'm talking about you could be BMX champion this year. Start slacking off all summer.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, here come that champion. That's he saw you winning.
Mm-hmm.
He winning all these years, but he saw you winning all the previous years.
Mm-hmm.
He wanted that.
Yeah.
And so, you know what I mean? When people want something, they'll chase it, whether if it's a female, success,
whatever.
Peace. You have to be consistent in how you approach that. And so that's what I learned overall in my whole journey. And we're gonna get into that, but you know what I mean? That's what took me a long time. So if you out there watching this, you procrastinating, you know what I mean? I'm talking about I'll do it tomorrow. Tomorrow turns into a week turns into a month turns into a year. Now everybody's saying, hey, you still doing? When people gotta ask if you still, I mean, you're not being consistent enough. And it doesn't matter if people see it or not. Do you see it? You know what I mean? Because if you're telling the truth, oh yeah, I'm working hard, but in the back of your head, you ain't really working that hard. You know what I mean? So this is going to be the first time in my career that I'm going to attempt to just really go all the way.
Yeah.
Give it a full, not just, you know what I mean, hit the gas. Oh, whoa, I went 200 miles right there. Like,
you mean that shit could go?
Nah, man, you know what I mean? I want to be known for more than just being someone that has talent. You know what I mean? I want to be someone that was consistent and displaying the talent. And that's how
Yeah.
you become a legend amongst the people, not just to yourself. You know what I mean?
well
I was a
said.
legend to myself long time ago.
Oh,
But then when you know that this person don't know who you are and they don't know your journey, now you gotta communicate that, but you can't communicate it with words.
Yeah.
They have to see the
That's true.
consistency
That's true.
in order to want to build with your movement. And so
That is true.
consistency is what I had to learn. You know what I mean?
True.
So
that is true.
that's the word of the day. Consistency. You know.
Yeah. All right. The woods?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Let me get one of the front toe. I'll rope it on the front toe.
You take it
Oh,
off?
that toe. You know what I'm saying? That front tees.
Should I say?
Oh, you out? Oh,
Yeah.
that was too quick, fam. What's love, fam? It's all
That's
good.
right.
The money be calling.
Hey, man, the money, hey, man. Oh, yeah, for sure. 2 things you never want waiting on you: money or honey.
You feel me?
Yes, sir. Don't do that.
Don't do that.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
I said I'll be here this weekend too.
Alright.
I'm spending time.
Much love, man. Come on, man. Like I
Let
said,
me know when you make it home.
come on.
Was right.
Hey, man. Hey, sometimes people take that for granted. Sometimes when you ever tell your homie, "Hey, hit me when you get to the house." All right, I got you. They don't hit you for 3 weeks. You know what I mean? This is a crazy time right now we living in. You know what I mean?
Really
Answer the phone, return phone calls. Just let your homies know, hey, bro, I made it home. There's nothing wrong with that. You know what I'm saying? Because it's a lot of crazy drivers out here. You know what I mean? So you want to just let the homies know, hey, bro, I made it home. You know what I'm saying? Or thumbs up or something.
Anything.
You know what I mean? Sometimes I be not following suit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Letting people know. Sometimes I'm the 3-week person, so I'm speaking to thyself when I say that, you know what I mean? So don't take it like I'm holier than thou. Whenever I'm talking in the interview about being consistent, I've had inconsistency. And whenever I talk about being a ruler, maybe it was times I wasn't as confident. You know what I mean? You have your days, man, when you just like, where do I stand? And you just got to just keep on going and just, okay, I put it in grow terms. Imagine being a young grower, right? And you stepping in a land of growers where everybody done put in so much work growing some of the best of everything, right? And then here you come thinking you about to outgrow everybody.
I'll go Ed Rosenthal and shit. You know what I'm saying?
The first year in the game, life does not work like that, man. And so you have to humble yourself. You got to watch how you talk to people. Watch how you praise yourself in front of people. I did all that at an early age because I had a taste of early success, but I didn't. Ain't nothing locked in 1 year. You know what I mean? You're not consistent. Nothing stays the same. So coming up in the game, I wanted to be a basketball player.
Okay.
That was my original passion.
Okay.
Trying to pursue basketball.
That's right.
That got cut short, between being kicked out of a couple schools, not meeting grade requirements, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just slacking off. A lot was going on. Parents were splitting up, so my concentration in school wasn't as, tight because that was going on.
Yeah.
So there's no excuse, you know what I mean? But I was able to make up later years.
Yeah.
Got my degree, you know what I'm saying?
That's right.
Not my degree, but my diploma. You dig what I'm saying? But I'm definitely a graduate in life. You dig what I'm saying? So you know what I mean? I've got my PhD in life a few times. You dig? But I definitely was able to finish school. a lot of learning lessons, growing pains. Had to give up basketball in the process, but I was able to finish school at the same time.
Yeah.
But later on it was by choice. By that time I began to really develop a love for music. My brother was a rapper at one time.
Okay.
And so I wanted to follow that and pursue that. If nothing else had, piqued my interest.
Yeah.
And so I rolled right into music in the year that I had to sit out from. It was a transfer I did.
Okay.
Certain grades didn't go through from the transfer. It was the transfer that went through. Some credits was short.
Oh, what it is, yeah.
So
the credits.
So I had to take a year off, but the coach still had me around the team as much as he could.
Good coach.
So he did what he could. He really tried his best to get me involved with the team, had me on the team and everything, summer leagues and everything. But it got to the point where it was like, well, what you gonna do? And just taking that time off, it just that inconsistent step was that little step that was enough to bump me off that step of life that I was on. And so now I'm advancing into the music thing around maybe 16.
Okay.
Trying to take stabs at it, starting to go in the studios.
Okay.
And then which led to me doing a demo that my brother heard. My brother is he's a rapper. His name was Cool Breeze.
All right.
He was in a group called Rated X, which was the first rap group out of East Palo Alto, Menlo Park area. To put out a CD or put out an album.
That's dope.
Yeah, professional album. And get radio play. KMEL at the time, Wild 107. Which is now 94.9.
Okay.
And they were on all the major stations, and so they they sparked the flame in my area.
Yeah.
But it was other rappers at the time also, but they're the ones that had that album, that kind of like they put their full foot in it, and then there's groups that followed that started doing the same thing that was able to carry the torch,
That's all
carry that torch, man. You know what I mean?
Takes.
So, So, and I learned from all the legends in East Palo Alto, all of them. You know what I mean? From Rated X, that was the group. You know what I mean? Which is Prozac and my brother Cool Breeze.
I was gonna say how many?
Yeah. At the time, he was Captain Crunch.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Then it became C-Funk, and then Prozac, you feel me? Among a few AKAs, what I'm saying?
But that's the staple.
But his latest is Prozac.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Super producer.
That's right.
You know what I mean? Incredible producer.
All right.
And so him, Chunk, Sean T, Totally Insane. Yeah, Totally Insane. They really, really, put the flag down.
Help make it happen out there.
Yeah, they was out there networking and getting seen and heard by the world.
Could happen.
You know what I mean? And so and East Palo Alto, also can't forget Mac and AK.
Okay.
I mean, it's a lot of groups, but a lot of influential groups in that area just because it's real musical, so, they come from a musical era.
Okay.
So I'm getting a musical influence. Not seeing live music, but getting,
right there,
even from my brother, because he played drums as well.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay. So you got
we're
to see
getting
him doing his shit.
Yeah. These is people that's taking music classes or might have taken, or did music at church or, they really played music, or learned real music from real, teachers.
Yeah.
And so me, I tried to take lessons, but I couldn't read music.
Okay.
I always played by ear, even now.
Yeah.
I played by ear. I would love to learn how to read music.
Yeah.
But I just always it's in me.
Sometimes I guess some people say you don't need it, but it can help. But
it can help.
You can make it to where you want without it. Apparently.
Yeah. I'm big on the rhythm. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm big on the rhythm, and it's recorded in me. I guess it's it's a soul thing. It's like you can't see the music. It's just like it's embedded.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You just can't explain.
And growing up to so many different types of music, because my mom is from El Salvador.
All right.
My dad is from North Carolina.
Gotcha.
So a Southern influence as well as a international influence.
All right.
I was able to hear a lot of different type of music
That's true.
growing up.
That's a big
And
variety.
So, but you know, starting young,
Yeah.
you know, and
yeah,
not
so
even
you're-
realizing I'm in this melting pot. You know what I mean? Like, you know, so I'm
that's a good one.
I'm
that
hearing
makes sense.
James Brown,
Yeah.
Otis Redding, and Sam and Dave, and you know these type, you know,
It makes it's all making
Wilson
sense.
Pickett, and you know, Jackie Wilson. Then I'm hearing, you know, Celia Cruz, Santana.
He's got good music
You-
everywhere.
You feel what I'm saying? I was getting hit with left and right, not even knowing.
You're like, what's that though?
Not even realizing the career path I was going to end up
True,
choosing,
true.
you know. And then now, fully embracing who I am, me being a Salvadorian and Black, you know, mixture. Because I was raised in a community where it was predominantly Black at one time.
Okay.
So I identified, you know, with that side first. But I was also
You still got it in you.
Yeah. So I was noticing there wasn't too many that, you know,
Gotcha.
around me that was mixed like that. So I didn't know how
True.
to embrace that.
That's true.
Being that, you know,
That's
being a
true,
unique, you know, where you got the best of both worlds in a sense, you know.
'Cause then
So
it really-
yeah, because it's like where is the self-pride preaching from anyone, because it's not too many people like you. So you just have to develop a pride within self.
True.
I've always got along with
Yeah,
everybody.
Yeah.
I knew who I was.
Yeah.
I never tried to go against who I was to be
That's
cool
dope.
with anyone.
That's dope. Yeah.
And then I found out later in life, like, you could be the cool guy doing that.
yeah.
And,
Yeah.
and
It's wild.
and be out of everybody's way.
Yep.
And
you
so
run smooth.
So nothing wrong with being the cool guy.
Nah.
You know, it's a lot of people trying to fit in this era.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
but we don't know who they are.
Nah.
Their own, whoever the people they trying to impress don't even know who they are, because they not saying, "Hey, I like to eat cheesecake."
Exactly.
Like they like, shit, I like what you, whatever you eat, bruh.
Whatever you exactly. Because you said it no much better.
If you said it wasn't it, I wasn't gonna eat
Press said it was
bruh.
smack, so it must be smack.
You know what I mean?
Like, no.
That goes back to the ruler thing.
There you go.
If you want to go to Dubai, go. If you want to go to the Philippines, you want to go wherever you want to explore, go. Don't be secluded to just staying grounded. You can stay grounded with morals, with principles, but see the world.
Yeah, exactly.
And you get to see how
see it way
different
better.
people really are. And you get to see these fools like the music you like. They just can't say it how you say it, but they hear it.
Yeah, and they see it.
Yeah, because it's like it's going in their ear the same way it's going in yours. You know, we just speak it different, but we all receive it, whether it's a fast reception or a slow reception. But music, it's universal.
It
bro.
really is. It really is.
It's universal, and you know what I mean. And who knows how long a basketball career of mine would have lasted if I really would have continued pursuing it.
Yeah.
So it's dope that, you know, being that you know, I'm from the '80s, man. So I learned a lot. I seen a lot. I seen the world go through so many changes. I seen my household go through a lot of changes. I seen other people's household go through lots of changes.
That's true.
I've only did 3 albums. You know how much I've seen? I can't put that in 3 albums.
Nah.
So if God forbid,
Yeah.
knocking on wood, if something was to happen to me today, my heart would feel incomplete of so much stuff that I had to say.
Yeah, you had it
that
ready
I
to
didn't
go.
get out there.
Just put that shit out.
That's what's fueling me now to put so much stuff out. So I'm getting a lot of music, not to prepare like something's gonna happen, but life is not guaranteed.
Exactly.
And some of the procrastinating I did over the years
got you to that.
It led to this. You know what I mean?
It's that small things add up right there.
Yeah. This is like that flip coin I was saying earlier. You know what I mean? It's like it's all one, but you have to flip that motherfucker. You know what I mean? For people to know that, hey, it's some motion with that coin right there. That's a money coin right there.
True.
You know what I mean? You see coins sitting on a pond.
Everywhere.
People be wishing. I
Let me
wish
just throw a fuckload. Exactly.
Wishing. And you just be watching that pity sitting there, and you just like, damn.
You can hear them. Like, that's like $5 right there.
So I want to utilize the gift. Want to utilize time. Yeah. Time is not promised. Neither is a gift.
Yeah.
Neither is nothing's promised. I learned that. I've seen people go. I've seen people that should still be around that are not here today.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, you know what I mean? Whether if it was health or just, their clock ran out, whatever,
exactly.
So we don't know when our clock is going to run out. So I don't want to leave with a shortened legacy based on procrastination being a part of my story. So I want to make sure that I share my gift. Yeah. You know what I mean? With plentiful in abundance.
Exactly. Yeah.
So that's my outlook going forward. So
that's a good way.
Coming with a 3 album, not just 3 albums, you know what I'm saying? So, we got the first album, Your Block's Host. It took about 7 years to make, a lot of education.
Mm-hmm.
Not to say I wasn't being taught, but my brother, he hadn't been in the music game in quite some time. So we were both learning it again
as you're
together.
Going. Yeah.
But I learned a lot. And I developed a lot of relationships early on. So no matter how big the gap was, I was always meeting people that was advancing. So they might have started rapping this year.
Yeah.
When I came back in it, now they CEOs. Now they, or whatever, or now they have a brand, or
they're just elevating
they
from
elevated.
Where they was.
They elevated. They evolved, and so. Yeah,
that shit's cool.
You don't want get out your own way so you can so you can elevate.
And that's what I was gonna say. I was gonna say that procrastination is like you're not expecting like the way I feel that too, because I'm like I'm not expecting it, but if something did happen, because I procrastinated, like you said, the message ain't out there or it ain't fully finished or whatever.
And then you got people misinterpreting your words, trying to explain who you were
through
on
your
this
work.
earth.
Yeah. And you're like, nah, I can't. Y'all don't get me though. I ain't done.
They're like, nah, but I think that's all he had in him. That's all we see. People only go off what's in front of them.
Yeah.
And when, like I was gonna say, planting a seed. We of course we want the biggest bud to grow, and it's just a bomb and fire. No, it's a process.
It is, and you gotta enjoy that motherfucker too.
You gotta enjoy it. You gotta talk to the buds. You can't just put water and wait. No,
and take off.
Some people sing to their buds. Mm-hmm. Some people, communicate with them. Play classical music, funk, jazz, whatever
you guys do.
But this is the process. And then it goes from that to curing, to this, to that, to you know what I'm saying? So, and then to somebody saying, hey, you got some extra bud? Like, bro, I just went through 9 months. It's the same thing with the rap game.
It really is.
You go through the whole grind,
really is.
Nobody supporting you.
Same shit.
And then you get that shine, or that moment of being seen.
Yeah.
Yeah, they come out the woolworks, man. Hey, man, you think you can help out? Whoa.
So, like, I was just thinking real quick.
I did all that watering and curing and waiting to see who's going to buy it from me.
But none of y'all was hitting me then, right?
Yeah, man. And then, So then, going through that and, so you evolve. You evolve. You learn to not let things get you or be personal. It's never personal. It's never permanent either.
Never.
Nothing's permanent.
Nah.
I've seen a lot of things, from news updates to weather updates. Hey, they said it was going to rain yesterday. It's sunny to the motherfucker outside, man.
8 hours.
So you can never predict what you think is gonna happen.
Nah.
Just try to be as prepared as possible.
Yeah.
And you know, things is just gonna fall in your lap.
Yeah.
You know. So that's just how life works.
Hey, they really do too.
Stay ready so you don't have to get ready.
Couldn't have said it, but that's one of the best ones out there.
Yeah.
It's one of the best.
Yeah.
All right, so I got some questions in here. I'm gonna get to those. Where does your music style come from? I know you shouted out your brother, said it was that, but any other influences throughout your career besides that in like a non-local music aspect?
Yeah, life.
That's a good one.
Life
That's a good
and others' lives and how certain decisions can impact life.
Yeah.
A lot of times I
Okay.
talk about, I don't say made up narratives or made up stories, but I put together scenarios where it can happen,
Yeah.
but it can be avoided.
Yeah.
So I never talk about, okay, my mom got hit in her face. And
Yeah.
I'm going to have those biographical songs, but I'm going to have songs that's more or less like scenarios to where like you can learn from it.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm going to take you through this.
Power of the
I'm going to take you on this story. I'm going to tell you the ins and outs, how it could have been. You know how we watch movies?
Yeah. Yeah.
It'd be like, oh, bitch, get out of there. They gonna shoot you. Oh.
You in it.
You like you can see
Y'all
it,
know,
or
y'all
like
know.
or when you watch sports, so you're like, oh, pass it. You seen who? Oh, he's gonna block it. Oh, so I try to give him,
Okay.
you know, in a fish lens type of view
as much as you can
of life.
Yeah. Yeah.
And what can happen in life, and so that's my thing is awareness, but not to be super preachy. I do it through the form of certain scenarios.
Okay.
You know, so that's where the style I get. But that, you know, Tupac did it in his way.
Yeah. Yeah.
Very influenced by Tupac. Yeah. My brother, his group, Rated X.
Yeah.
You know, the whole East Palo Alto scene.
Okay.
The Bay Area scene.
Got to.
It's no one name.
There's not.
It's just the evolution of the Bay Area from just, you know, seeing the independence, you know, the independency rise, and you know, and then, but you know, it's tough because you have to get up. It's not going to be a label waking you up. You know what I mean? Being independent. If you want to get those results, you know, you have to be consistent with the self.
Exactly.
And so being influenced with the greats, and wanting to see the Bay Area thrive and be known as a internationally known scene.
There you go. Yeah. Yeah.
We're internationally known.
Yeah.
But we want to be an international known scene. That the All-Star looked great. We had the All-Star game out here.
Yeah, I forgot.
It made the Bay was on fire.
Yeah,
so
it was like a nice.
it felt like classic times in the Bay Area. So we have the potential. You know, now we just need the music to coat the scene.
Yep.
So being influenced with all the great music that comes out to get these people when they're at these gatherings.
Yeah.
I want to be in that forefront. I want a song where it could be a part of the memory.
Oh, I can see that.
That's the thing about being a legend. You're a legend because not only you was consistent with your craft, but you being consistent with your craft, you presented art to me. I'm talking as a consumer. You presented art to me at a time when I needed art in my life.
Yeah.
And your art got me through a certain period. You know, because every day ain't happy. Every day ain't a party. Every day ain't festive. No. So when we're in that grind of in between times, we be wanting songs to not only motivate us, but make us, you know, enhance our moods. We don't want anything that's going to purposely send us to a low vibrational mood. We want our vibes up. I love seeing people smile. I love seeing people laughing, having a great time at the party, dancing. I love that. You know what I mean? That's what inspires me. When I see people having a good time, the songs, good music, I want to be a part of that vibe.
That's right.
You know, so that's what inspires me is the legends, of course, but the feeling that music gives people, and you know,
that's
so
right. Well,
and these people gave them a lot of art.
Yeah.
A lot
of fucking art. A lot of perfect fucking times that they needed
so,
it.
So when you only gave me 3 paintings, you want to get it right here with my favorite brother right here. You need to step your art up. Keep creating, brother.
Gets to pushing, writing, drawing, whatever.
Paint, get to using that brush and give us something to remember.
But
so
not, for what it's worth, that influence. Every time I put on, like today, I was break time. I was like, all right, I gotta get ready for work. Gotta get some mood. And I was like, fuck it. So I was pulling up. I'm gonna put it on by myself. Put that on. It gives me that, because I'm not in that. Whatever, it just gives me that hype movement vibe. Do this.
And by myself,
you're getting it. You're giving it off. I mean,
by myself was inspired just by me. You know, like I said, that first 7-year period of me going out there, not having the relationships with my counterparts.
Yeah.
My brother had relationships.
Yeah.
So I'm gaining relationships through him.
Got you.
But he already blessed people with his art. So they know what kind of a painter he is.
Yep.
They didn't know what kind of painter I was. Just because we're siblings don't mean I'm the same painter as him.
Yep.
And so, you know, and he was painting at a time where it wasn't too many painters.
Got you.
As far as music.
Yeah.
So his art stood out faster. You know what I mean?
We got one from right here. Let's check it
out.
What?
From here? What? EPA, Menlo, what? You know, so and so having to prove myself in an era where now it's a bunch of painters.
Now
I'm surrounded with a lot of art now. There's art all over. So where do you stand in this realm? You know, so being out there, having to connect with people, but I was by myself at times. And so having that mentality to where you're going to go out there, no matter who's there, no matter you good, you neutral.
Yeah.
I don't have no issues with nobody, so I can go where I can go.
Yeah. And they all know the same.
And we talking about hyphy era.
Okay.
You know, it's pill popping going on.
Yeah.
It's hyphy.
It's a lot of movements going on.
You know, I mean, you know, you on the dance floor, you getting hit.
Good times.
You know, but we all hitting each other.
Good.
It's mosh pitting. You know what I'm saying? You know, I'm just off. You know, adioses.
And that's it.
Yeah. So, but not being afraid to be by myself as I was navigating. You know what I mean? Led to that song.
Yeah.
You know, so that so I'm just kind of just sprinkling the the journey in bits and pieces.
All right, I'm fuck with it. That's what I got from watching the video. So I watched the video the first time I heard it too. So
absolutely.
This is the shit. This is
Yep.
shit.
Yep.
It message well delivered for sure on that one. For sure on that one.
Yes, sir.
Well, shit. Speaking on throwing back to legends in the game and shit, can you name one old school rapper or music group that like the new era kids and generation should know about? Like what's one or a few that you should name off?
From this era?
Yeah, or older from like that this new era might not know.
Okay.
Like, so they can go back, do their homework, and be like, oh okay, let me study on that for real quick.
Man, like I say, we're gonna start with Rated X.
There you go.
And then came Rated X, was the first album to kick off East Palo Alto.
All right.
After that, I don't know in particular order who came first or second, but I know it was Totally Insane.
Okay.
They was Totally Insane and Rated X was around the same time. They were because they did talent shows with each other.
So they was one of the same. Like you doing it there, I'm doing it
here. So they was both working on projects and stuff. You know what I mean?
That's
but
dope.
Rated X happened to be the first ones to deliver a project.
Got you.
That got released and was on radio. And they doing shows and you know what I'm saying. But then Totally Insane was boom, like right there. They right there. So when it comes to being pioneers, because Rated X, they had more of a mainstream approach, you know, to how they was doing it.
I can see it. All right.
Totally Insane was giving it to the streets.
Just hitting it raw.
You feel me? You know, but then as well, Chunk was also at the same label as my brother at the time, which was Tandem Records. You know what I'm saying? And, but he was coming with that street stuff. So he was like, one of the first street rappers to blow up out of East Palo Alto. And definitely one of the highest selling. Almost 100,000 units on one of the albums independently.
Sheesh.
So $10 a CD.
Big win right there. That numbers alone's cool, but independent on the end, that's a big win.
So they was moving units. Totally Insane moving units. Mac and AK. They got a gold plaque for being on the soundtrack. That's Nothing to Lose with Martin Lawrence and Tim Robbins.
That's dope as fuck.
Man, we got so many. The Hood Stars. The Hood Stars, come on now. They kicked the door back open to East Palo Alto. No, y'all gonna represent East Palo Alto. I'm talking about the Bay Area. Like, when they was, when you would hear these radio shout outs, it'd be like San Francisco, Oakland, Vallejo, Richmond. And you're like, whoa, y'all keep skipping up. So when Hood Stars came back out,
they made it known.
They put the stamp like, no. Keep that door open. We've been here and we here to stay.
Yep.
So they definitely reopened the door to where now I can come and represent, and they remember how they was representing, and they remember how Totally Insane was representing Chunk and Rated X
Torch
and all that. So
past, fuck it.
So we a small city.
Yeah.
But
together,
so I take the torch very serious.
You because
it was held by some very powerful talent. You know what I mean? Sean T, he done did Feeling Myself, and I learned a lot from Sean T.
Still listening to
Sean T is still making slaps. You feel me? Prozac still making slaps. Yep. You know what I mean? So, so we Mac from Mac and AK.
Oh yeah.
I learned a lot from Mac as well.
Yeah.
Mac was making slaps. Everybody. EPA got a nice, a nice,
there.
What I'm saying, set of producers.
There you
man.
go. There you go. We heavy list right there. That's a good one to be featured on too. Like,
man, that's Stagmata, fire producer. It's just a lot of it's a lot of talent, man, in East Palo Alto. It's a lot. We got young talent. We got legends. We got, what I mean? It's so much, too many to name, what I mean? B. Jada, Money Mont,
all right,
Never Legal, Sick Insane Criminals, Totally Insane, Hood Stars. I can go on and on, man. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Like I said, B. Jada.
That's
So we got football stars, Devontae Adams. We got
a few out there too.
Yeah, it's one of the highest recruited areas in the nation. As far as the level of talent that's coming out of there. A lot of Division Ones.
Yeah.
A lot of D1s is going all the way.
They're making
it. So it's expanding. EPA had a lot of had a rough notoriety for quite some time. You feel me? So we trying to I don't want to say reinvent the wheel, but we just trying to enhance it. We're trying to enhance it. So a lot of these people are now helping to encourage these kids to because they done did. They've
been through it.
It was in the headlines, man. It was in the headlines. So we just trying to be in the headlines in a positive light. Now it's Facebook and Instagram there. So a lot of gentrification with there. So, but it's still a lot of people that's from a certain era that's still there, but they not pushing negativity. You know what I mean? They trying to push their kids to, enhance. Their family name.
And now they even got limited more opportunity and some more shit coming in.
But with that training also.
True.
Because they even more strict to not let them go
all the way
a certain path. You know what I mean? Because they, been there, done that.
Yeah, so, you can't go all the way in, and you don't want them to go all the way opposite either.
Yeah,
you gotta have neutral bound.
No, but at the same time, it's not like it's a ghost town. I
Yeah.
ain't gonna say that. You know what I mean? Don't awaken the beast. You know what I'm saying? It's still East Palo Alto.
It's still and always gonna be.
Menlo EPA ain't going nowhere. You know what I mean? And a lot of the gentrifying is going on the edges.
Whether you should see it cruising
Yeah,
through.
no, grandma house still up the block. You know what I mean? So no, but like I say, we here to encourage enhancement, man, evolution.
Yeah.
But be a lot of people they don't really go there, so they kind of see the statistics and
they just listen to
so they kind of like, oh, well, EPA is good now, just like El Salvador. A lot of people like, oh, Salvador is cool now,
the safest place ever.
But, when was it dangerous? 2 years ago.
So
Whoa.
how did it change so fast?
2 years? Whoa, but it's still El Salvador. You know what I'm saying? You still gotta tread lightly.
You gotta understand.
Yeah. So.
Well, shit. Since now, let's just keep it you orientated. We'll come back to the 209 in a minute.
Come
later.
on, it's all good.
We'll do that. So, since we mentioned that you signed under Be Legit, what's that like and how that come about? If you want to share,
It's been dope, man. I met Bila. I did a show with the Octopus Lounge.
Okay.
I was a young man. You know what I mean? And I got his contact info. We was in communication. And I was on my way to Texas to do a show.
Okay.
I had got a gift of some shorts.
Okay.
And I never tested the pockets, because I just brand new shorts.
Like
you know what I'm saying?
Shorts.
We get to Arlington, Texas, at a Whataburger.
Okay.
Get out to stretch, and the phone that had Bila's number went through that hole. And
God.
so I got disconnected with Bila, and this is at a time where I had, hey man, can we do a song, man? I'll get you some beats and
put the footwork.
Come on, let's do a song. Yeah, let's do a song. And then lose his number.
Oh.
And it's nobody to give me his number. Bila ain't a number people pass around like that. You have to really know somebody.
Yeah, and no one's gonna just answer to that.
I'm gonna give you Bila number. He's top dog in the Bay Area. You dig what I'm saying? So, when you when you're dealing with a boss, you got to run into him when you run into him. You know what I'm saying? So I ran into him a few times, here and there, but we didn't really lock in traffic because we was always in passing.
Okay.
So it was always brief interactions.
Yeah.
But it was winter of 2013.
Okay.
I was with my cousin Todd, who was the CEO of Shutter Shades. Like I said, I had a lot of gaps in my career. I wasn't as consistent.
Yeah.
And so there was a gap at one point where my cousin was around to take me to a lot of events. And one event he took me in particular was an event with Chad Hugo of the Neptunes.
Good one to go to.
At the Holy Cow at the time. I think it's Club Eve now. I'm not sure if that's what it's, don't get me wrong, but it got the big ass cow in front of that motherfucker. But yeah, so he was at that party, man. Bila was at the party. And then so a couple weeks after that, my car, I blew an engine. This is the most detailed story. This we gonna get
I'm in it though.
We're gonna get you the real.
I'm in it. I asked for a reason. I'm in it.
Blew my first car engine ever. Put oil in your vehicle. That's all I'm gonna say. Oil and water,
all you first
and you can go see that man's daughter. You dig what I'm saying?
And then
of age, of course.
That's
You dig? You know what I'm
exactly.
saying? Legal age daughter. You dig?
Keep a thing of oil
under your back. Yeah.
Keep that oil if you don't want to be spoiled. You dig?
For real.
Yeah. So okay. So my car engine blew up on me. I remember too, because when it happened, I'm like, damn, what happened to my engine? It was this tweaker dude. I was at a 7-Eleven. And he was like, Yeah, man, you blew your engine. I can tell right there. You know, the belt's off. I was like, how did he do that?
It just opened instantly.
He diagnosed the shit out of that motherfucker, man. So anyway, engine blows.
They know best.
So now I'm commuting with my mom. I went with her this particular weekend to where she stayed, which was an hour and 2 hours away from East Palo Alto.
Okay.
Menlo Park. So I'm like in traffic. I'm tripping. I'm like, damn, I don't want to be in traffic right now. I would have been riding, blowing a blunt right now. Anyway, or just doing what I wanted to do. At the time,
your comfort.
Yeah, it wasn't her fault that my car blew, but you know, she just trying to get me over there, you know,
back to point B.
relax, whatever, you know, for a second, you know, while your car sitting on blown status. You dig? So I noticed his number had the same area code to where I was going.
Oh.
So I haven't talked to him in 5 years, you know, like as far as on the phone communicating. So I just took a shot in the dark, man. I said, hey, bro, I'm like I said, I'm in this car, traffic. I'm just like, this is not what I want to be sitting in right now. So I was just like, hey, fam, I know I'm somewhere in your area. What's good? I didn't know if he was going to hit me back or not. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I just threw it out there.
Yeah.
He was like, I was waiting on you.
God damn.
Is that right? What's up with it then? You know what I mean? He's like, I got a studio, you know. Can you smoke over there? He wrote back, till you pop. Mom, please let me go to the studio. Can I borrow your car? Please, Mom, please let me go to the studio. Had my keyboard on me.
Oh shit, you was ready.
Had my keyboard. I don't know if I brought it with me or what, but it was there.
Yeah,
you know
some reason.
And
for that reason.
I happened just, I don't know how I had to keep. I don't know if I took it with me because I knew I didn't have a car and I wanted to make beats.
Say you didn't want to leave it in your car or something.
Yeah, I don't know what made me bring it because I didn't bring it with the intention to bring it to his studio.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That just happened to happen.
That's crazy.
Man, so I go to the studio. We've been locked in ever since. And like, so basically that started a series of me going over there periodically. Mm-hmm. Not all the time, but I was going
every here and there,
mm-hmm. but consistently.
Okay.
And I'm going to smoke. And, you know, there's different people coming in and out, and you know what I mean? And, you know, we building, and then we have mutual acquaintances. So that was making it like, okay, it was making it real comfortable because he's seeing that I know a lot of people that he knew. So it wasn't a hard introduction.
Nah.
Like, here's this dude, he's a stranger. And no. It was like, Cydal. I know Cydal.
Yeah.
Because of all those years I was putting in.
Yep.
You know what I mean? You see how it all connected, you know what I mean? So, you know, so and he knows everybody in the Bay Area, you know what I'm saying? Because him and 40 been pounding the pavement for years. So, so knowing, but not knowing, we were just blowing.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? And you know, us building trust for one another. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? You know, we don't trust many people. We had to do things on our own at times. You know what I'm saying? So when you get into that mindset of moving like that, you have to keep a shield up to not go through fall for the banana and tailpipe.
There you go.
You know?
There you go. I was all thinking for, I was like, how can I
misled? you know, you don't want to mislead yourself. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So me and him learning how to interact, bond, getting to know one another, trust. You know what I'm saying? Now it's leading to us doing shows together now. Yeah. And now we're doing songs together. Okay. But all those years, was building. Yeah. Yeah. We wasn't hanging out. I wasn't smoking like, well, he's gonna sign me one day.
Nah, yeah.
No, man. It was about 4 years of us smoking. Straight up.
That's right.
From 2013, the end of 2013 to 2017, August. He calls me one day and he said, hey man, you know, it ain't no mistake of why I had you hanging with me this whole time. You know, it wasn't, you know, for no reason. Yeah. You know, come on, what we doing? And I'm like, rule the squad block movement. He's like, that's right, let's go. He's like, you know, but you're gonna have to wear some different hats at times, you know.
Just like that.
You know. Sometimes, you know, when it's raining, you gotta put on your rain
Yeah,
gear.
you got
or
to.
when it's, you just gotta know how to move accordingly at times. And I was already doing that on my own. You know what I'm saying? So I was wearing all the hats. Like, there's this one. I don't know if you guys are familiar with In Living Color, but there was this one segment Damon Wayans did called Edmond. And it was based on a family from the islands that they had multiple jobs. Like, so when somebody had one job, they just couldn't believe it. Like, you know, everybody was like, well, I did the goat herd, I did this, I did that, I did that. How many jobs you have? I only got one job. One job? What the
You only do one thing.
I wore a lot of hats, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Even though I didn't put them on as fast over the years, but I had to do a lot of that already, learning, you know, how to get your graphics made, how to do this, how to do that, how to do the copyrights, how to do this. I'm still learning a lot of this, you know what I mean? But there's so many different elements, you know what I mean? And so learning all of those basics, Bila just added the polish to a lot of everything I knew. You know what I mean? He just added a polished coat to it. You know what I'm saying? Right. And so, now when we make music, it's synergetic. You know, people hear that's not forced. Fools, they know each other, man. They you know when some homies is making songs versus some people that know you don't. You know, you be like, they didn't make that song. Especially in the
wasn't even in studio.
Especially with AI.
Yeah, exactly.
First of all, you don't even have to be there. They could just send your vocals, or that I could do a session in this place, and they could send it. And now, no, you could type up lyrics,
send a text,
and it's a song in 10 seconds. So that's another thing that's driving me also. How quick songs. It's songs being created in seconds. There's no creativity, no passion, and they making it a business because, you know, if your business is to sell art, I'm not gonna be caring about your passion. If this art right here, even though you said it's not good art, but this art made me a couple million, got me some girls last week, and I just bought a new car.
And it's feeling pretty nice right now.
You see this draw I'm smoking? Yeah, that's from that art I sold.
You see how I took like a 5-hour nap?
You feel me?
Because of that. Shit.
Yeah. Outside perspective though, when I first met him, I seen, you know, like I said, with you and Bila, I watched the fucking growth, like, in that. I always told him, like, man, like, he ain't signed you yet. He ain't signed you yet.
He did tell me that.
I knew it was gonna happen.
Yeah.
You weren't expecting it, like, something.
I never asked him. He'll tell you that.
He didn't have you around for like no reason. It's chestnut checkers. You know what I'm saying? He had the checkmate. You know what I'm saying? He did it at the right time.
I never asked Bila once to sign on.
And that's that shit's all natural.
It was, you know what I'm saying? I was like, it's about time. Like, well deserved.
Yeah, and it was like,
it worked. It wasn't just handed to you. Like, you put in years of that before, like, I'm saying, before he gave you the actual, like, signing. You know what I'm saying? Like,
you had to really be block tested and hood approved. You know what I mean? If he want to be with B, you know, it's a big responsibility. It's a big responsibility. B ain't never had no smut on his name. B always remains solid, and it's evident because he's so down to earth. He's a cool dude. You know what I mean? Yeah. He's one of the most realest. You know, he does what he said he's gonna do. You know what I mean? And he means well. He means what he says. You know what I'm saying? He, you know, people, you know, they may, you know, try to get the urgency, you know, but his you know, he's a busy man. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, when you get time, when he gives you time, you got to own that. You know what I mean? So I don't take his words lightly. So I try to honor everything he's ever taught me in the grind.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
the art that I'm trying to deliver from the coated polish that I got, on top of that by myself, mixing it by myself with
all that,
with that, and now it's gonna sound like. So
put it all in the good pot right quick.
That's when you be in. That's why they be trying to get people out the game, and no, it's no limits to this. You know, it's no, you know, you can't be oh, you shouldn't do classic music no more. No, it's only for us, you know. No, it's all ages. There's no age. There's no age.
None.
It's no.
None.
It's about art. If you're able to develop high quality art, regardless of how old you are, you could do it all your life.
You just keep it going. That art will keep you young at whatever. It'll keep you happy, so you healthy.
Did you? Oh, we don't listen to Beethoven anymore. He's old school. You know, we make new classics. No.
Hell no.
When was Louis Vuitton made?
Shit.
When was Gucci made?
Way back then.
Ferragamo. We keep going. These aren't brand new brands.
Yeah. Took them a minute.
These are established.
Took them a minute.
So
check this right quick.
Yeah. Timeless music is what we on.
We good. Just making sure it's still running smooth.
Oh yeah, we all good. We almost at 60 minutos. You dig what I'm saying? But yeah, so where we
nice
at?
and smooth. Nice and smooth.
Let's do it.
We still got so the way it's structured, I still got a couple more questions.
Okay.
And then I got the segment rapid fire.
Mm-hmm.
Just this or that.
Mm-hmm.
And then finish the phrase. And then that's the end.
Let's do it.
So we got a couple more.
Let's do it.
Couple more.
I see. We got the the after party stick ready to go. You dig what I'm saying?
Yep. And just let everybody know too. Me and Marcus. These ain't all just for me. Marcus kind of helped me out with these questions. So it's a group activity up in here. So let me see. What was it like hosting we kind of already talked about hosting the shows pre-COVID.
But we didn't say what it was like. We'll tell you what it's like though. Like I say, I thought everybody was all friendly.
Yeah, what's up, guys?
Smoking, man.
Let's get high over here.
Nah, man, you don't know who done fell out with who, or you don't. So like I said, I came in being friends with everybody. I'm wearing everybody's shirt and being there. Oh, you wearing his shirt? Oh, you wearing his shirt? I'm like, damn, okay. Well, how about this? I'm wearing my shirt. The end. No, but fun. Fun as hell. It's hella good weed, good vibes. You know, learned a lot about cannabis. Learned a lot about the culture. And, you know, when you really get involved with the culture, you learn how hard it is. And like I said earlier, you got to plant, you got to crop it, you got to do all this. You know, you got to maintain the soil, all this, you know, water, blah, blah. It's a process. So before you go up to somebody, say, hey, can I get your work for free? Take in consideration that these fools went through 9 months of, you know.
This ain't no cannabis club and they just work in the booth.
I'm talking about it was nothing there. And they turned a seed, sprouted it, and now you get to smoke it and ask for a free bud of that motherfucker. So I'm a little bit more conscious now of everyone's art.
Okay.
So I tried, and then also too, when I got my first set of shirts, I remember about all those fools I asked for some free weed from. I had to give them one.
It's only right.
So, but now I'm in a world of doing business, and now I learned that appreciate art, support others' art.
Yeah.
If you want your art to be supported.
Exactly.
So. You know, that was around that time of dealing with people and getting a lot of, you know, jars for the stars, as I made up. You know, I made that statement of jars for the stars. You dig what I'm saying?
That's a good one right
there. But you know, while I was out there getting my jars for the stars, now I get my jars with a star. Jars for the star with a star.
Okay.
We all stars.
Okay.
So I'm gonna promote your brand just on the strength that you bless me with your art. I learned that from the Cookie Monster. Okay. Cookie Monster 415.
All right. Shout out, yo.
Long live my big cousin. You dig what I'm saying? I've known him since my earlier by myself days. You know what I'm saying? So we ran into each other at Beela's studio, and then we was locked in, you know, like we never left. You know what I mean? So, but one thing I learned from him was the ability to show love.
Okay.
I wasn't showing love in that by myself era because I was by myself. You know, some people be so they out here, and they so, you know, just shielded with their heart and they not, you know, letting it go. Nah, man, clap for that man.
Yeah.
but people see me clapping for others and mislabel who, like, look at that fool clapping for that.
Exactly.
What's wrong with that fool clapping? Not realizing I didn't clap for nobody for years.
Yeah.
I'm trying to take the step, like,
For
you know
everybody.
what I'm saying? Like, he did good.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Hey man, let's get this plick. You know what I'm saying? Let's get a photo or whatever, you know what I'm saying? I didn't have a photographer at one time. I was my own photographer.
Okay.
Hey, look, I gotta document this memory.
Yeah.
Because that's all we left with,
That's all
right?
you're doing.
Is memories, right?
Yeah.
That's all we left with. So
that's all we leave behind.
I wanted to leave memories as I went. You feel me? It wasn't no rules of being on social media.
Nah.
How much to post, how much not to post.
What to post.
Post.
Yeah.
I'm learning as I'm doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing with me when I was doing the album. You know, I was learning as I was going, building fans at the same time though. And yeah, man, so learning process from the tree game to the rap game to life. But yeah, so that's one thing that I got from the tree game is appreciate others' grind.
Yeah, all right. That's
not just
I
see you, but I appreciate you too.
It. I understand it.
I understand.
Recognize it, and yeah, and that goes a long ways because ever since I transitioned from my BMX podcast shooting shit to this, it's just been people have been appreciating the art and like praising me for the art aspect of it,
right?
Not just the sponsoring and being the funder and the guy that pays for the fun. Now it's like, because I was that guy giving in the early days of the ValleyBiz brand. Right. I was just flooding the streets with free clothes because I was so hyped I made it. Like this is my new tape, this is my new shit. Here.
That was me in my first album. I was
so I could. So I didn't need to bring it back in. So I was just like, it's going out there. That's when I got to put my money up to something.
I was playing everybody my first album. By the time it came out, half the homies was like, I already heard it. I'm like, damn.
Fuck.
So I learned how to develop the art of surprise.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The element of surprise. You feel me?
It is an art to do it too, though.
It's an art. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, oh man, I practiced that lately quite a bit.
I've been having to get
I can't wait till y'all hear some of this art I got for you. So just, you know, all that just sitting and patience and procrastinating, whatever you want to call it, you know, the gaps that I was taking, but I think I needed to take those gaps in order for me to be as hungry as I still am to this day, because I lost my hunger at one point.
Yeah.
And so gaining it back, beautiful feeling. I don't want to lose it.
Nah.
I want to hope. That's why I want to hold on to it. If I can hold on to it, the best art comes from when I'm hungry.
When you're hungry. Yeah. Same shit. I feel 100% on that. That hunger, that drive. Once you get to like, you have as a youngster when you first start, you have them goals, and then once you get to that, if you don't prep for it or if it comes at a time, you're just too busy working. You don't realize you reached it, and then you're just like, why am I going for it as hard anymore?
Yeah, but that legend,
and then some shit happened. And then you just come back, like you said, life happened, hits you, and then you get that hunger back, and it's no better feeling than that shit.
But the legend that we admire, they went through all that.
They went through plus more.
It still dropped art for us.
Exactly. And,
so
you right. Influence again, right there. So back, trying to pull it back with the sesh days. I'm not sure if that's how you and Marcus met. But I know that's
so one of the first sessions I went to, literally one of the first sessions I went to. Yeah.
Okay.
Bila was doing a sesh. Him and Yuck had a sesh, you know, and it was a Terp festival or somewhere. I forget the name of it.
Some shit like
but I wanted to go check it out, you know, and you know, I'm going up there. Hey, you know, I don't mean to stand out with my hand out, but
I gotta see what's yanking.
I would like to, get a sample to set the example. That was my slogan at the time, and they all thought that was cute. That was funny.
That was something.
And everybody that I was getting this free weed from was bosses.
Okay.
I was just a funny guy, but my whole life has been like that.
Sometimes it works. Most times it works.
Building that bond with people.
Yeah.
You get the laughter, You know what I mean? Everybody like to laugh. Everybody like common shit. Sex, laughter, weed, food. You know, how can you not relate to someone?
Yeah. Especially at that.
We don't have to like the same.
Just some funny shit.
No, we don't have to view politics the same. We don't have to. We don't have to do nothing the same, man. Do you like to smoke? I like to smoke. You like to eat? I like to eat. Let's just be cool on that.
Let's just
And I find common ground with people.
All right. That's
feel
cool.
me?
And more people like that.
And so, you know, and a lot of the people from the sesh that I met was so different from me that you have to find these common grounds with people.
Yeah.
You both like to smoke. Okay, well, we'll just keep it at the smoke. You know what I mean? But yeah,
exactly.
So I'm going up to booths. I went up to his booth, and you know what I mean? That booth turned into friendship.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so we smoked hella weed, you know what I mean? And, you know, he taught me a lot about the game and just seeing his involvement being a vendor. I wasn't a vendor. And then I eventually, you know, started doing that too. You know what I mean? And, you know, and so now, you know, when I have my booths, I think of people like that I met back in the day that was doing their thing, grinding at the table. I'm like, okay, you know, now I've seen it from the people that I got cool with. You know what I'm saying? So it just taught me, you know.
That's dope.
Yeah, it taught me to, you know, appreciate once again, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, because he was somebody
he was out there doing it.
I came for that bottle, man. You know what I'm saying? You know, hey, let me get a sample of that.
And he had that early recipe too.
And
he had
blessed
that thick recipe.
He blessed me, you know. He blessed me, you know what I'm saying? And you know, at the time, you know, activist was big, man.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
yeah.
I mean, you know, I don't know, you know, I don't know if that you could say that, but you know. But I tried a little cup or two, and it tasted good.
Slack, what's up?
I remember one time I was drinking some, and my arm started hurting. I threw that shit. I know whoever, if you a lean sipper, would have licked the bushes, whoever.
Yeah.
But nah,
but
activists tasted hella good though. I wasn't an act sipper like that, but everybody that let me try the act before, the flavor is good. If there's a way they could copy that flavor. After these messages
from our Slacktivist.
This the Slack.
This the Slack though.
Oh, okay, yeah.
That's
this the original Slack though. Hold on, let me see. Let me see if it got the old school smell too. I ain't gonna put my snogging in there. I just wanted to see if it got the little old school Slack smell. Let me see. It's gonna bring me to the Sash days. Hold on. Yeah.
You said, yeah.
This the pure form.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this right here, they was putting in sodas, man, and getting loaded off tree though. This cannabis. This ain't you know, but this is how this right here brought me and, you know, my good brother together, man. Like I said, we was smoking hella, you know what I mean? And then I became a host, and we still stayed in contact, and then I got back into music all the way, and we still been locked in. And so, you know, so salute to ValleyBiz, and you know, pleasure meeting you.
Yes, sir.
And you know, that's what got me here, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Y'all still linked in.
A little slack, you know what I'm saying? You know, didn't cut us no
Full
slack.
circle,
you know what I'm saying?
That's right.
Yeah, so that's the fam, man. So shout out to ValleyBiz, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Shit. Speaking on that, let's get it closer to the 209 then. You got a song with one of our own artists, Trav Murray from 209. So how'd that come about?
Trav.
Shout out to Trav.
Shout out to Trav Murray, man. Yeah. So we was we got the we had did a freestyle challenge.
Okay.
Me and Young Chop, we had an album.
Okay.
It's called Tacos and Pupusas.
This one right there. We'll zoom on there. I can lift it. Yeah.
Shout out to my primo Young Chop.
Wow.
You know what he was thinking of when you made that.
Man, I smoked the blunt before I started this interview, so I got so much cotton up in my music.
You got the old biscuit time.
Man, dry biscuit. You dig what I'm saying? Crunchy and straight crispy. You dig what I'm saying? Ain't nothing like a dry biscuit, man. You know what I mean? And we gonna call you haters a dry biscuit. You dig? You dig what I'm saying? Oh, that's a dry biscuit over there, man. I like my biscuit moist. You dig? You know what I mean? I was going to get No, I ain't gonna, you know what I mean? But hey, man, you know what I mean? Shout out to everybody with the boys' biscuits out there, man. You understand me? I was gonna get ready to put somebody biscuits on blast, man. But I was coming to get these biscuits. I ain't gonna say who, but they was giving me the soft ass biscuits, man. And when they gave me them crunchies and them crispies, man. I stopped going immediately, man. You know, ain't nothing like you can't reheat a biscuit. Nah. You can't reheat a pancake.
Nah.
Certain things you can't reheat a career. So I lead that to say, I'm just blessed to be able to be accepted amongst all those gaps that I took in my career, and people anticipating art from me. So I appreciate everybody that's been patient with me. I've had people that waited on me that are no longer here. I do this for them. I do this for the people that's still here, able to watch. They don't have all day to watch. They have families, they have jobs, they have responsibilities. So I take that in consideration too when it comes to how long I take to put out the art.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So we're not promised to be here. They're not promised to watch and wait on my, you know, on my career. So I want to be able to get art to my people that's still here with me. Yeah. So that's something that motivates me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is true. We just going against a clock we can't see.
Yeah. Crazy game. Yeah.
So bringing it back to 209 area, there any like young upcoming artists you've like noticed, or any like top artists you know?
Before we do that, go back to Trav. You never finished this.
We didn't finish.
Yeah. We got to touch it on this real life, man.
The biscuit tongue.
But shout out to the whole Twomp Nina, man. You know what I'm saying? I go all the way back to the Twomp Nina, man. My sister had lived out here years ago in the Twomp Nina. My brother had lived out here. You know what I mean? So that's how I was able to go pull up on my guy. You know what I mean? In between time. Me and Young Chop connected, and I actually seen him perform for the first time in my life, seeing him in the 209 perform.
Oh, there we go.
So it was a lot of first times, you know, out this way too. You know what I mean? It's you know, we was doing our thing. You know what I mean? So, but I didn't meet him then, but I seen him perform then, which got me like, hey, you know, if I had the opportunity, I would work with that brother. You know, one day. And life just led us in that path, and then it just happened like that. You know what I'm saying? But I saw him by himself. I said, this fool was out there like how I was out there mobbing by himself. He had a team, but he, you know, when he was doing the songs, I just remember the music was knocking. He was just by himself, and I was like, that's how I do. That's how I get out. I'm gonna check for bro when I get a chance, man. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But so we came with the album Tacos and Pupusas, and then we had a song on the album called El Soul, which is the song was called Shit on Lock. But we, you know, I just kind of artistic way of, you know. So instead of calling the shit on lock, you know, El Soul, S-O-L, shit on lock. So
Those who
can't comprehend that wittiness real quick.
Yeah, exactly. We, you know, breaking it down, acronym. So we came with the Tacos and Pupusa album. We came with the El Soul, and then we decided to do an El Soul challenge. And one of the contestants, or you know, submitters that submitted their submissions, you understand me, of music, you dig, was Trav Murray, man. And he came with a real vicious freestyle, man.
And motherfuckers wonder why I'm a criminal. Compared to all this bullshit, dog, mine is minimal. And so I keep my mind focused on green. I keep myself separated from these haters like quarantine. And so I hold my daughter close to my chest. A damn shame that she gotta live a life in this mess.
It was unforgettable. You know, it got a real good reaction. And we kind of just stayed in touch. And then he had asked me to get on one of his songs.
Okay.
And then, so we had did a track. And
you invited me to that music video too. I'm pretty sure.
No, then we did that one. That was we did that. That was the song. But I want to say we did two of them, though.
That one out on the boat and shit, right?
Yeah, I think that's the noted one. Yeah, but I thought we had did 2 tracks, but if not, we for sure got 1.
Okay.
And so I remember he had hit me. You know what I mean? He was like, "Man, you know what I mean? I don't know, man." I was like, "Man, what you mean, man? You better keep going." One thing about me is anybody that's, you know, if they ever at a point where they like, you know what I mean? I'm not, you know, I got some grinding to do. I got some work to do. I'm like, hey, man, you can't have a talent like that and put that on hold, man. You better drop.
True.
You know what I'm saying?
True.
So that turned into let's do the song. You know, the song, we had the song done already. We didn't have a video.
Okay.
So I was like, let's turn that song into a video,
Make
man.
something out of it, yeah.
Yeah. So shout out to Trav Murray, man. That brother right there got some vicious spit, man.
He do.
Yeah, he busting.
He do.
So yeah, Trav, keep doing your thing, man. Salute. That's my guy.
And we be seeing it.
Yeah.
209, we see you.
Yeah, man, the 209, man, and then also
and they got down there they got a whole ass. Yeah.
When I see the 209, you know, and their evolution, and now they on the map, it's just hella dope. You know what I mean? Because one thing the 209 got is grind.
Yeah.
They got grind. They always show love to the Bay Area. You know what I'm saying? So you can't never take that for granted, man. You know what I'm saying? Because then people be showing you love, and boom, look how them tables turn.
Yeah.
Now they up.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Yep.
You know what I mean? So treat everybody the same, accordingly, balanced, neutral. You don't never, it's everybody all equal. Everybody equal, eye level. You feel me? I got a lot of friends right now. I've got people out here winning Grammys, platinum records, then, you know what I'm saying, then, you know, was able to blossom with their career.
Yeah.
And I've been
right there with them.
Clapping.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Or happy to see that. I've never been like, oh man, yeah, he got it. Yeah.
He thinks he does because he got that trophy.
Now I'm at home and I'm telling myself this, and you developing this bug in your head. Now you don't like this person because of their achievements.
Yeah. Everything they do is gonna be towards that now.
Yeah. But you clap for them, you clap for them early. You clap for them the whole time.
Yeah.
And they remember you was clapping, even though they be in the cloud. But when that cloud always clear. And when it clear, they remember who was there in the beginning, who was supporting me and didn't want nothing from it.
Mm-hmm.
And what drives me now is you know what I mean, to represent California where the 209 could be proud, 6'5", just like the 650. You know what I'm saying? Like I want the Mac Dre took that area very serious.
Yeah, he did.
And they took him very serious. And he was able to take that around the whole world. But I've seen Highway 99 do some great things for a lot of careers, man. But you gotta let them know that we love y'all all the way. We got y'all back like y'all got our back, man. I know it's 209 and we the Bay. We together. It's Northern California.
Yes,
you know what I'm saying? The Bay is slapping 209 now. Straight up. You know what I mean? It's a new day, man. You know what I'm saying? The 209 put in their work, man. You know what I'm saying? So now the 209 on the map, they getting received by the world. You feel me? So it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? And, we just want to continue doing what we do in the Bay Area as well, adding our imprint to it. You know what I mean? And we can combine these imprints and make it some Northern California ain't never seen, man. You know what I mean? We can put this whole scene together, man. So the 209 is very important into enhancing the brand in Northern California. It's a lot of support in the 209. Just as long as you show your love to the 209, You did?
And if you don't, we got something for your ass.
Even the dog could agree with that one, Tim. Man, you know what I'm saying? He's like, that nigga spit that shit. You know what I'm saying?
My house. Damn it, man.
What's up with you, man? Yeah.
All right. Let me hit it with we'll get like a few more of these questions in, then we'll get to the little funny, little quick rapid fires.
It's all good.
Let's see. Oh, I didn't mention AFROMAN. You opened up with AFROMAN, and Marcus told me he went to the show and everything.
Yeah, man, and I ain't seen my guy in quite some time. You know what I'm saying?
He was hyped for that one,
hair
too.
got long on me. I'm like, I ain't seen my guy, man. But he came with the Ruler Squad. You know what I'm saying? But it's a surreal moment, man, when you've had humble times, humble moments with some of your comrades, and then they at your show.
Yeah.
It's like a full circle moment.
It is.
You feel me?
Yeah.
And
For you, not AFROMAN.
AFROMAN and being with AFROMAN in not just one state, but a couple states. You know what I'm saying? So him seeing me
it wasn't
again,
just that one. It was,
he seen me in another state first. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
As far as, with the music.
That's dope.
And we had opportunities to perform previously before that show, but I made sure, you know what I mean?
So you brought him back closer to home then is what it was?
Yeah. He came this way. He got booked and, I was booked as well. You know what I'm saying? So, we went over there to Retro Junkie, you know what I'm saying? And we went and did it big, man. Shout out to everybody over there, JR Holiday, you know what I mean? Everybody that put that together.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
That was one big hot box. I can imagine.
It was great, man. I went and called my guy, the twerculator. You know what I'm saying? He brought the bus and brought up. It was just great energy. You know what I mean? I brought all. I wanted AFROMAN. Come on now. You know what I'm saying?
So let's represent.
So I called a couple of my buddies. From some of the festivals that I visited. And they came through with that visitation. You know what I'm saying? They came with gifts. You know what I mean? And, it was a great night.
True.
'Cause at the time I was going through a lot with my grandmother.
Okay.
So I was getting ready to, have to deal with that chapter.
Mm-hmm.
So it was a lot of good, a lot of balanced emotions.
Yeah, there
night,
you go.
You feel me?
The good balance part. Back up.
Given what I was bound to face.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? But So, but other than that, it was a great night. And since then, it's been some great shows. I just kind of went on a journey since then, and really,
we'll have to make some happen out here.
I was my grandmother, man, that was something, man. Having to deal with that whole process, man. So having to pursue a career, but at the same time be there for your grandmother. You got to balance time. You know what I mean? So now, that she's blessed us with her presence up above, and always will be in our hearts and soul and everything. She was the one that was like, I want you to work hard. Like, don't sit and grieve. Go.
Just keep
yeah,
pushing,
she would want me to go hard. Yeah, you know what I mean? So
same here with Mom.
So it's a lot to ride on.
And
then coming from a Salvadorian background, they don't look at music or pursuing your dream as reality.
Nah.
Go to work.
That's what I was gonna have.
Where's your money?
Exactly.
You feel me? We got bills this month right now. Where's your help at? Yeah. So you could be King Cydal all you want, but you know what I mean? So that level of consistency, it's a lot pushing that right now. A lot. My grandma's watching, parents, friends, homies, people that been supporting, people that ain't supporting, but just want to see if you're gonna surprise them. I don't want to say their name, but
dry biscuits.
Dry biscuits. Them dry biscuits waiting for you to.
They gonna crumble like my dry biscuit ass crumbled.
Niggas waiting. They waiting on your shit to crumble. You feel me?
There's too many.
Yeah, man. And not only that. What about the brother that wants your position or somebody that
just as hungry
that can gain it because they working and you wasn't available? They were.
Yep. Just like that.
It just happens. It happens in sports all the time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? A lot of jerseys get on the clearance rack
real fast. Overnight.
I'm talking about you at the club, you partying with all these bad ones and all that. That youngster, he ain't with no girls. He trying to get a contract and he's training and now he got a spot on the team. Now all the girls want him.
And you just pull up and it's just like, ain't nobody here, they over there.
Yeah, man. So the people that I've seen maintain consistency, they are able to have a long, extended career.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That longevity shit.
Yeah, real talk. You know what I mean? So
that second win.
Yeah, because I was told not to get a third one.
Yeah, nah.
Yeah,
two's cool.
They said two's cool.
Two's cool.
Don't start over again.
Nah,
you know
that third one, ooh, man, some, I don't know. That's when you start drying out.
That came from Andre Nicotina. He had a talk with me.
Okay.
And he was telling me, he's like, second win's always cool.
Okay.
Third, you don't want a third, man.
You don't want that.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna have to
He said the last word he told me, finish your fucking album.
Those are good words. Good fucking words. I'm taking it as since he told it to you and you told it to me. I got a message from him, and that's taking it hard right now.
I see too, at the show with AFROMAN. I seen Andre there too. Like I was like, all right.
Oh,
he wasn't there performing.
He was just there.
Pop out. You know what I'm saying? Obviously,
that's what's up.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
I'm just like, damn, like
support the show.
And then when he see me, he's like, he saw me. He's like, Oklahoma. I remember you. I was like, yeah. I was like, yep, that's fam. Right. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, AFROMAN, man, just a legend. Just him being consistent in the game and having the longevity and the fans respond each time.
Yeah,
it's a dope. Even watching Bila and up there performing with Bila, these are people that he gave memories to.
True.
You know what I'm saying? So
true. For a long time,
I honor that.
Trav was just as hype when you were on stage too.
Yeah, no.
Oh, I bet. I can see it. Yeah, I kind of want to go to one of your shows now after watching music videos.
It's just one of those things. Like it's like this. You're gonna see a ticking time bomb. When I get on stage, my brother taught me to. I don't give a fuck if it's 0, 1 person, 100, 1 million. You give it the same effort every time.
Yeah.
And so, in all the years of performing like that, I give it that same energy every time. You know what I mean? And now the people are giving me their energy.
Mm-hmm.
It's dope because I was like, I've been going hard now. It's just weird. Like, I've been going hard. They going hard with me now. And I'm like, oh, damn, okay. I've been going hard so long by myself.
Shit's so dope because I look at it like the same way because I've been doing bike events because I got a jam, like a contest I do first January of every year. It's like the biggest contest in Northern California.
Yeah.
And then, but fuck it, I've been doing that for you. The build up to get there, like you said, it's 1 year, 1 person, 3 people. I'm still got, all right, guys, let's do this contest. I got prizes, fucking whatever. But now, so seeing it full circle, just like you was explaining at your shows, I'm just like, I bet you that. Plus, because I don't fucking do nothing at the show when I put the contest on. So your music aspect, you see the audience for you, and then you could entertain them. I'm like, damn, that's probably dope as fuck.
Because it's you building the memory aspect.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That last one was dope. Let's go to the next one.
Exactly.
And then they told 10 people, and then they bring,
and
they just build up. And so we did that with our Savage Sunday. We had a Savage Sunday. We had a.
You gotta do that for a minute. Like so often.
We
invited me to those too.
We had a couple that was, we started in the cannabis club that, Bila had co-owned called the Hip Hop Station. And, which led to the Hip Hop Volume 1 that's getting ready to come out. You dig what I'm saying? So a lot of hip hop. But yeah, we grew that Savage Sunday brand. What's Savage Sunday? So we came with something. We came with the meet and greet in the cars, you know what I mean? We're not the first ones to do it or the last ones to do it. But, it's Bila's putting his stamp on it for all the years he done drove, all them sick old schools, the Cutlass Supreme,
Always
you know what I'm saying? To be specific, you dig what I'm saying? Very classic car that you might have seen it on the Click cover, you know what I mean? Down and dirty. You dig? That was Bila's, orange Cutlass, you know what I'm saying?
Personal.
That he still got till this day. The trophy is still, it's still cool there. You know what I mean? You dig? So, So he brings it out, man. It's a trophy. It's just dope to see that. You know what I mean? Like, that's a lot of decades of just grind and excellence and just being able to preserve it. That's hella dope. You know what I mean? So I got some big shoes to fill. Not just from the Bay Area, the West Coast, we got some misunderstandings to make people understand. As far as the coast, when it comes to us being a part of hip hop, you know what I mean? We definitely played our role.
Yeah.
And so we want to get our respect also.
Gotcha.
And we're gaining it. We always had it, but we want to get it to where it's just permanent.
It's there.
It's there. It's here to
You don't got to be like, oh yeah, that's true. Y'all was.
Yeah, or yeah, y'all, haven't really got the attention you deserve. And nah, man, that really fuels me now. You feel me? To really go all the way, not just for the Bay, but the coast, the whole just hip hop, just in general. You know what I mean? And just be a representative that could be someone that's internationally known and accepted. Like some of the forefathers that done it before me. You feel me? And and just take the vision and enhance it.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
And I can see it happening. The torch is in good hands.
Yeah. Oh, right now you got the
you're 4 big like that.
You got. That's right. You got
He said, "Come on now."
It's really hard to put it into 4. You know what I mean? Like on some Mount Westmore. You know what I'm saying? I was saying Westmore before
I
Rushmore.
I didn't even.
Yeah.
Hey, that's what it is to me.
Four of the biggest like influences for you.
Tupac.
Okay.
Tupac, Rated X, because that was the first group. EPA, and Bay Area.
What I met a dude named Rated X at your show.
I'm gonna check this.
No, you never met this one. This is my brother. He is.
We good.
You got X-rated. That's a lot of people when they hear me say Rated X.
I thought, but I knew you was something different.
They think of X-rated. You know what I'm saying? Because X-rated was consistent.
He was,
you know what I'm saying? He was keeping it going at a time where Rated X had put out 3 albums, and then they split up, and then Prozac he did some solo work. He stayed consistent since then. My brother kind of drifted off from the music scene, but he came back. He did some recent work, and we got some stuff that we doing. Right. But yeah. We go
not the third.
Breeze go. We gonna keep Breeze lit. You know what I mean? Right. But So Tupac.
That's where we was at.
Tupac. And all the EPA music. Rated X. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, I can't just put it all into one group because they not from EPA, but. If we gonna go into the who I just got who hit the switch, Run DMC, LL, Rated X is in there for sure. Cause I just seen them. They was right there. And then that whole Death Row scene, you know what I'm saying? Dr. Dre and Snoop and you know what I mean? That whole and now I'm cool with most of the Death Row artists.
Snoop reposting your shit.
That's
some shit right there. Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm talking about half of the people on the Chronic knows who King Cydal is. It's crazy.
To be able to say that.
To be able to say that, bro.
Yeah.
It's fucking crazy. So that's what I mean. I have big shoes to fill.
Yeah.
Don't just be their friends. Match the energy in this era. And keep it going, you know what I mean? Yeah. They gonna maintain their level of legend status. Yeah. But I'm saying, and they still maintain,
and they still keep doing it,
and selling out shows, and rap is still evolving. It's still, it used to be a young man's sport. They used to say that, you know what I mean? Yeah. But
I heard that
is classic a young man's sport? Rock? No. How about jazz, R&B?
Like Santana still rocking shows.
Why not be timeless like those legends, man? And they out there getting a bag.
Big bag.
Yeah. So,
keep it pushing.
That's the lesson. Consistency. Consistency. That's the word of the day.
Consistency.
But I can't just put it in them 4. It was all kind of groups, man. You can't. You got your KRS one. You got all. I listen to all that, man. But as far as whose tape I was really studying, Run DMC, man. They was they was it when I saw them, and then before then was Michael Jackson.
I was gonna say Cydal Jackson.
Yeah, you talking about all time? Michael Jackson is at the top.
Yeah.
He's at the roof.
You know?
I'll tell you that shit the other day. What's your number one Michael Jackson song?
Yeah.
He said that's a whole nother. You're gonna have to come back and visit us again on that one.
Man. I guess you could say Billie Jean.
Okay.
You could say Billie Jean, but you can't just put it to one song.
Nah,
you know what I'm saying?
nah.
But then,
Whole
but I was so Michael Jackson, Michael. You know what I mean? And so now I'm just now learning other artists. You know what I mean? And so later in life, I learned to appreciate reggae.
Oh, gotcha.
Listening to reggae, they say less, but they mean the shit out of what they say. So that is something that inspired my hooks. Because I do hooks now for a lot of what I mean. Some I'm starting to get known for hooks now.
There you go.
But I've been doing hooks all my career. But